All right. What do you got?
The defense getting a steady spoonful of the change in worlds that they're going to see in this game.
Yeah, it's obviously very different than anything that we've ever seen or that you see anywhere else. So it's very good for us that we have extra time. I don't know how people do it in 1 week. With really in a normal week you really only have 3 practices. So it's taken us 2 practices just to get our service team running it decently. So I'm glad we have the extra time, and I think our players have really bought into what it takes, and they've practiced very physical, and we've done way more live tackling and cutting than we've ever done.
Does it challenge you guys as coaches to come up with a somewhat of a facsimile of what you're going to see? I mean, you guys don't do anything like that. You don't even see.
Yeah, we've spent a long time prior to coming out here with our staff figuring it out, and then with our players who can best do certain things and who can give the looks. And it's not easy to simulate something that you don't do. This is just a completely different version of it, but it's very similar to Oregon. Why people struggle with Oregon, trying to prepare for that in 1 week.
Just kind of go against everything that you guys have worked on since fall camp from a defensive standpoint.
Well, there's not a lot of carryover, but at the end of the day, you still got to tackle. You still got to be physical, and that's what good defenses do, regardless of who they play. So the basics of really good defense are still there, but obviously there's a lot different as far as fits and as far as how your alignments are.
You always talk very fondly of Curtis and his growth. Has there been another one like that? I mean, even going back to your time here as an assistant.
Oh, I don't know offhand. I don't know that someone's come as far as Curtis as far as when we got him. We weren't here when he was initially here, but when we first got here, how far away he was from doing almost anything right. I don't know anybody that's come that far, I don't think.
How did this practice look to you, the way you looked at this practice today? How was it?
Well, I thought they did good it's not easy. They're coming back on unusual times of coming in after a later practice yesterday, less than 24 hours off for back-to-back full padded, full tackling practices. That's very unusual. So they responded well, and then added conditioning on both days is very unusual.
And your ability to look at practice, you looked at practice different today. It was a different.
Well, we just have more time. Well, we just have more time and more practices, and so like it's unusual to have this much time to prepare for people, and so I think it allows you as a head coach to kind of look at everything and spend more time with defense or special teams.
Why did the schedule go the way it did with that short turnaround?
First part of it had to do with finals, so that hours weren't something done for a reason as far as their bodies. But I just think, one of the things about bowl games is trying to get players to buy into that it's just not a soft, long-time atmosphere, where they're them tell, well, we still have 10 more, we still have 9 more. And the problem with that is then you finally practice and you've had a long layoff of really having physical stuff. So our plan has been to have a couple of really hard ones right now, almost as if you were playing a game, because of a long layoff.
Is everyone eligible to play in this game? Are you going to lose anyone academically that won't be able to play in this game?
We would not know that either way right now, with grades having not been posted. With this bowl game, grades will be posted prior to the bowl game. So, that could be something, but we would not know either way right now.
So there's a chance a guy could make the trip and then not know until you guys are out there.
Correct.
Yeah. What do you see from Marcus today?
I think Marcus has had a couple really good days after being demoted. I think he's responded really well, which is always what you want to see. Guys not going to tank. Guys work really hard, so he's done that.
When it comes to the cut blocking aspect of this offense, is there anything that you guys can fall back on this year that you've seen that is anything similar to that? And also, is there a fine line with that, with the rules and knowing what's legal, and you guys kind of keep an eye on that as well?
Yeah, nothing's like it. The closest thing was, Oregon did a good job cutting us this year. We did play the cut blocks very well on the perimeter in that game. As far as legal, that's the system. That's really close to post and chop, and the guy being in contact, and like any time these systems over the years, the majority of those things get missed because they happen so fast.
If a kid were to be ruled ineligible when he was on the trip, would you send him home? Would he stay there?
I don't know that yet. I think you probably have to send him home because he'd be ineligible. You probably wouldn't be able to give him any benefits like feeding him. That would be my guess, I think.
What movie are you guys seeing tonight?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not going. We're still here. I don't know what they're seeing.
Lane,
You got a
because-
chance Darius Rogers.
And they told me what it was, but I can't really pronounce it. I don't want to say on air and sound really old that I don't know the movie.
Well, you got Darius Rogers today. What happens with him in terms of the ballpark? What do you get out of?
Yeah, we're allowed
NBA?
because school is officially over here with the finals as of yesterday. He's allowed to start practicing right now. That's why he couldn't practice before. He was already cleared through the school and through the NCAA. He's been cleared for a while, and so he can practice with us until we leave. He can't go down there.
Did he practice today?
Mm-hmm.
How do you look?
Good. I mean, obviously that's hard just coming in and practicing with guys that have been doing it for a long time, but you can see that he's very talented.
Like Matt's physical aspect aside, how is he dealing with this mentally? Just
Matt?
Yeah, the possibility of his career ending. How it is ending, and he might not even play on in this game.
Yeah, it's not easy. I don't think many people would handle it very well at all. I think he's doing really good, and I think that all goes back to his balance and who he is and what he feels defined him. He's not put everything in his life into football, or else this would be really, really hard to deal with, and it still is for him. So he's doing a good job. He's going to have a long career ahead of him, and a lot of things to look forward to.
Does this dealing with this adversity help him down the road? I mean, that position's an up and down position, mentally, physically, everything.
I think I think all the stuff he's been through makes him a more valuable pick. If everything was smooth his whole career, then all of a sudden the question is, how does he deal with adversity? I can't imagine someone who's dealt with more adversity in a 4-year span, things that were out of his control. I think that will have made him better in the long run.
Is he around the team?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Matt's in here in the morning, then we leave him in a lot of time to do some workouts and do some treatment.
Moving guys around, just kind of seeing different spots. Do you continue to do that up until what point?
Yeah, we're done now. Anybody that we've moved somewhere has been because we feel like that's the direction that we're going. We really only did that movement stuff the first 2 days.